Welcome back to Seen It Before, where we're probably going to say something stupid about your favorite movie because we've seen it all before. I'm Danny.
I'm Dan, and we got a lot to talk about today.
Oh my God, so much to talk about. So many sad things happen.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the conclusion to James Gunn's trilogy. That is, as we talked about, unlike anything else. Like, we were trying to compare it to other trilogies, like, say, Tobey's Spider-Man movies, or even, I guess, John Watts' Spider-Man trilogy.
Yep.
But
nothing like the Dark Knight trilogy.
Series, like, these are all grounded compared to this. This is like something totally different.
Yeah, it's something that is very true to the tone all the way through all the movies. Mm-hmm. It has heart, but it's also really goofy at times.
Really goofy at times.
It's a really good balance. It's able to really balance all of those elements,
especially
throughout the whole series. Especially
definitely in the first two for sure. But this one, it all culminated in this cacophony of just wild. I don't even know how to describe it.
Wildness.
Just wild. It's
lots of
stuff, and we got a lot to talk to. So we're gonna cut this intro a little short. So let's get to it. All right. So this movie, we start with just this opening credit scene. The Marvel logo is just all the Guardians. It's nice.
Which is they tend to do this with like
special movies.
Yeah. So like obviously Black Panther Wakanda Forever had all the Chadwick Boseman stuff. Captain Marvel had Stan Lee because he died around then. Mm-hmm. There's another one. I think maybe Endgame had something special in it.
It might have, but it had the special end credits for sure.
Yeah.
So
this one, obviously, this is the end of an era, I guess, per se, for the Guardians. This is 10 years or almost 10 years because the first one came in 2014, right?
Yes, and 6 years to the day of release since the second one came out. That's a long time between sequels.
Yeah, that is.
Like 2017 to 2023. It's wild.
Yeah, it was just funny because it's like when the second one came out, I was like, oh wow, apparently the movie's coming out 3 or 4 years after the first one, but it takes place like a couple months after the first one. Yeah. And now this one almost kind of is real time with how much between the second one and this new one. Yeah,
it's not necessarily specified, but we can gather it's probably around the same time as the current movies going on, like the 2024, 2025 of the MCU timeline.
Yeah, because we jumped 5 years and then COVID happened, so then kind of time just got kind of jumbled up. So so Endgame's 2023.
Yes. Endgame ends in 2023. Then all this stuff in Phase 4 and 5 so far have started with 2024, 2025, somewhere in there.
Okay.
And this one, I'll get back to that timeline stuff a little bit later. But yeah, so
at this rate with all the multiverses, it doesn't really matter anymore because like it could be any time.
Yeah, honestly,
we know it's just sometime after Endgame.
We open up with just all these little raccoons scurrying around in a cage.
Yep. It's the whole opening is in itself just very downbeat compared to the first one in the second one.
Yeah, we get the zoom in on Rocket's face as the hand is coming in towards him, and then you see his face morphing as we get closer to his eyes.
Yeah.
And it's really cool, really sad, and Creep by Radiohead starts playing.
Great CGI in that scene. Like, they've really fucking detailed, man, on like, it's a fucking raccoon, and,
Marvel sure picks its movies with how good its CGI is.
Yeah, that is definitely for sure.
Wakanda Forever in this one, top tier lately.
Yeah. But then you got something
then you got Quantumania.
Yeah. Which, like, the only good scene all around was that one where he's working with himself, like all the different versions of himself. Yeah. That was like the one good scene in the whole movie, and they really brought the CGI for that scene. The rest of it, I don't know. I don't know where it was.
Exactly.
What are you guys doing?
So then after all that, it's like a whole one shot of just Rocket walking around until we get to see Quill just drunk and all that stuff again. We get to see what all the characters are up to.
I was surprised that they reused the set from the holiday special. That really looked like the same exact thing.
It was, because they shot it at the same time. They shot the holiday special at the same time.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I was going to say, like, doesn't look very cinematic.
No, but it worked.
It's fine.
This movie holds the record already for the most makeup appliances in a single film. More than 23,000 prosthetics, over 1,000 different people.
I can see that. There's a lot of different animal people. There's especially like it almost kind of started getting like desensitized to it, if that makes like when like the rat lady at the end with like she was kind of controlling all this stuff. I'm like, oh, it's just more of this strange kind of like gooey looking like all the costumes for like the Nathan Fillion people, and we'll get to that, but
there's
a lot of prosthetics,
a lot of real cool stuff.
But I really liked it because like maybe that's why the movie isn't like, I'm not complaining too much about the CGI because there wasn't a lot of it compared to an Endgame or Infinity War type movie.
Yeah.
Obviously there was some because like how can you have a Marvel movie with explosions and planets blowing up and lots of fight scenes, like that hallway scene was like 100% like where they made everything look like a one shot. It's got to be CGI there somewhere.
Yeah.
But lots of prosthetics and a lot of practical effects, which I can appreciate. It didn't look bad either. It was really good.
Yeah, you talked about the holiday special, and stuff we know from that going into this was that the big thing is Mantis is Star-Lord's half-sister. So that was officially confirmed. Like, we kind of had a feeling that that's what it was, but like it's officially confirmed there. And Cosmo the Space Dog. So that's really the only big things from there. Maybe Mantis and Drax's relationship a little more, because that does get evolved in this movie a little bit more.
So the more that I think about it, though, is like, what was the reason for that then? Like, why
special?
Yeah, I mean, so the only big revelation that came out of it was, Mantis was Quill's sister.
Well,
why? Like, why did like?
Well, it's something.
Why is that? Is it just because it's a comic book thing? You got to kind of like they included this line, and I'm just confused. Like, there's really no significance to it.
No, but it was fun. That's really all it was there for, and just a little precursor to what we to expect, because it had been some time since we saw the Guardians. I mean, not necessarily.
I always appreciate. Well, I wanted to see more. Like, I go for the Guardians movies for Quill.
And Love and Thunder, I don't count that one.
For Quill and Rocket and Gamora, and they were not really in the special.
Yeah.
So, but I still like this special. It was fine. Yeah. And I should say, because I said in the roundup that like it fleshed out the lesser known people. So yeah, I guess I can appreciate that.
Well, now that I'm thinking about it, Love and Thunder happened right after Endgame, and that was 2023. And
it was after?
Groot was still a teenager at that point.
Was he?
Yeah, he was still like baby Groot, or not like teenager Groot in that.
Yeah, so this
and that happened, and that's only 2 years. Then Groot turns into this big motherfucker lifting.
Yeah, so
Jock boy.
Was that CGI, or like it felt like a guy in a suit?
No, I'm pretty sure it was CGI. It's a really good CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's CGI. I mean, there's an on-set person, I'm pretty sure, but like maybe they had like the head wasn't CGI, or some parts of the body maybe weren't.
I know that they used Sean Gunn as a stand-in for Rocket.
Yeah. And there was some other dude that I saw in the credits that was credited as Groot's stand-in, but yeah.
Oh, also, speaking of Sean Gunn, I love, this is going to sound really weird, I love his body shape.
Yeah.
It's like his whole body is like the shape of like Shaggy's neck.
Okay.
Like he's so skinny. So skinny.
So skinny that he has a little gut right here.
And it just has a giant fucking like lump here.
Hey, it's a beer belly. That's what he's got there. He's got that going on.
But it's like he's a twig otherwise. I just find it hilarious.
Adam Warlock coming in hot.
Oh, I love his introduction shot because like it was what song they were Crazy on You.
Crazy on You by Heart.
Yeah. It looked so like if this movie was made in the 70s, like that's the shot they would use. Like, him just coming straight for the camera. It's like do 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 do, so perfect.
Yeah.
And then it's such a contrast to like obviously you see like the whole montage and the sad kind of opening where like everybody's kind of like fucked up because Gamora's gone, Quill's heartbroken, half the universe died and came back. Everyone's going through trauma, and Rocket's just kind of reminiscing on his horrible life.
Yeah. And he's just kind of thinking. He puts the Zune in like the speaker and everything, and then you see him grab something. It's that passkey. That was the passkey he was holding that he unlocked for his friends at that one.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. Like it looked familiar in halfway through the movie.
That's what it was. Yeah. So and he puts it in his pocket, and then he gets attacked by Adam. Adam comes through the wall, just attacks him, and starts just beating the living piss out of him.
And I was surprised at how serious they got right in the beginning. Like, because right now, like, immediately the movie starts, like, we're literally 5 minutes in, Rocket's having a heart attack, and then
Rocket's-
he's fucking dying.
Yes, he's dying.
And,
Drax is getting beat to a pulp.
I thought Mantis was gonna have to deal with like a broken arm, and like Nebula, I thought she was down for the count.
Bro, Nebula comes in like Iron Man. I loved that so much.
Yeah,
so it's so cool.
I loved like the little details. They're really good about this, especially with Iron Man, where like Tony learns from his mistakes is like kind of like the message. Like so like there's like throughout every movie they don't explicitly tell you, but you can see in the design of the costume of the mech that he has little improvements. Like. Ant-Man was able to get inside of his suit in Civil War. So what did he do? He created a nanobot form of the suit, so he didn't have to deal with that problem. And obviously, so we see in this a bunch of different other examples of that. But you see that that brushed up on Nebula. Now she has this kind of designed like flying thing that kind of looks like the Iron Man armor in Infinity War when he kind of like. Gets all like the energy. He has like I think Thor or somebody puts all the energy into his back and it kind of shoots at him, shoots at Thanos.
It's got that type of feel.
It's like like a wings sort of looking thing.
She's got like, not the Winter Soldier arm that she gave Rocket in the holiday special. But no, it's like an improved version of her arm that he must have just.
Yeah, I really like that too.
Real cool nanotechnology type of deal. That
was real good. Plus, it fits with like her like. It's a little thing, but she's obviously been torn apart by Thanos and put back together with replacements and stuff. Now she's kind of done that herself, and it's sort of like maybe I'm reading into this, but it kind of seems like taking back the trauma or something. Now she's doing it to herself, and she's kind of reaffirming herself in some way. So like I like that.
I like that. I didn't even think about that. That's a really good theory. Groot is just a head at this point, and he starts.
Oh yeah, he's fucking
around.
decapitated.
Looks like that baby from Toy Story, which also so did one of Rocket's friends from the past. Floor looks like that too.
Oh yeah, well Floor freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah, well.
I think that was like the weirdest design to me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they all give me the creeps.
Yeah,
because it's.
Cosmo's a bad dog, but Cosmo's really a good dog.
Yeah, I like that. So that's something that's a little tiny goofy thing that I like. It's good.
Yeah. I like Mantis being an asshole the whole movie.
Mantis, don't be an asshole.
Like that was just another running joke, and then the metaphor thing came back with Drax. That was really funny.
Which we'll get to maybe the funniest part of the movie.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, so Nebula at this point, Adam is on top of Drax, beating the living pulp out of him, and Nebula stabs him.
Right.
And
so
that hurts. What the fuck?
Yeah, I liked it. It was fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm trying to separate my idea of Adam Warlock, because his whole thing was the Infinity Gauntlet story, and he's just not there. So he's kind of relegated to this sort of smaller, lower tier story. And so I guess if they're already taking a liberty with how he's interacting in the story, make him not as invincible as he should be, I guess.
So he's Space Jesus in the comics, but
right.
So it's, I don't think he's needed in this movie, Adam Warlock, but
yeah, not really.
He's great.
There's a way you can write
it. A great job with what he was getting.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad that he's here. I like him. I like his presence. He's a great actor. Funny guy. Although everyone in the interviews were coming out when he was doing interviews like, wow, like Eyebrows Kid got really hot. He still looks fucking goofy as shit in this movie.
He's got the goofy face,
especially because that's his character too. Because he's like, he's a dumbass.
He's playing the same guy, just more buff and like,
Yeah, it's like Kenny.
He's playing a child. But
yeah. It's literally.
All right, so our first flashback we get is, Rocket being thrown in the cage and meeting Lila, Teefs, and Floor for the first time. And his first word is hurts. I'm just like, oh, that set the tone for the movie.
I felt whatever animation they were doing, whatever the
company,
whatever like the reference was for that. Oh my, like that was a legit, like I felt like terrified for this little animal, and I know it's all CGI, but like whatever they were doing to it, oh, dude, it was like, I can't say it's great acting because it's not, or maybe it was. I don't know, but it's everything. It really got to me.
Everything came together, dude. This whole movie. This is only the beginning of the movie, and it just gets more and more, heavy as it goes along. The whole gang is on their way to try to save Rocket. He has like 2 days, I think they said, before he dies. So they have to get to this place called the
Counter Earth or that
Orgocorp.
okay.
Orgocorp is where they go first.
Yeah. So yeah, Rocket's dying, and they need to find like the key thing to.
Yep.
Right.
So they're getting through all these, force fields as they make their way to Orgocorp.
And I love how Mantis just doesn't know how to fucking do anything. Like she's just like I'm floating in midair and I fucking suck at this.
All right, that's
but I
a
also
little far ahead.
I thought it was so cool, like all the different like the designs of it, like just in that scene, like they have these like specialized suits, and they have like they have little like pressure exhaust pipes, to push themselves, and I'm pretty sure that's actually part of like NASA stuff. So, but it's like built into their backs and like their arms and stuff, so they can. And then they have like these sort of like zip line things, but it's like a laser beam kind of thing.
Yes, it was very cool.
I really like it. It's just like it fits.
Yeah, and they kind of look like Among Us characters, but it's not that. It's apparently, according to James Gunn, inspired by 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I definitely got that. Yeah.
Yeah. Not that. Yeah. Before we got to the spacesuits, we had the Ravagers. They kind of invade the ship. We get them all coming in through mystical portals. Which like
I knew
that's that guy's thing. That's his thing.
I knew about it. I knew about that particular character being magic based on like I think New Rockstars did something way back in the day, because at the end because they were a post credit scene. There's like, hey, this guy has magic, and like that guy is voiced by Miley Cyrus, and they recast her.
I believe his name was Kruger, is what New Rockstars they said. I watched the video.
Yeah.
So he.
And they were the original Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Is that what? Like that team, minus Sylvester Stallone, because Yondu was the head of that original one. They were the original Guardians in the comics, right?
I don't know. There's so many different teams. The Guardians. I have no idea who the original ones were. I think this whole Orgocorp scene is the funniest in the movie. There's so many different times in this whole like situation they got going on. So.
And one of those cameos, Nathan Fillion comes in, and that was spoiled for me online. But because I'm like, why is he dressed in like a fucking fat suit?
Yeah. Well, before they even get in there, there's like the whole thing where Peter's talking to Gamora on the open line.
Oh yeah. Oh my. And the buttons.
He's like, Peter. This is an open line.
Yeah.
He's just confessing.
Blue is for orange. Orange is for yellow. Yellow is for red. Red is for
It was so
he's like,
funny.
how is that?
No, yellow is for yellow.
How is that good? And then Jack's like, I thought it was intuitive. Great joke.
Then there was.
We get to see the scene, like in that scene. It's all about Quill trying to talk to Gamora to be like, hey, like I really want you back, because I totally understand, because he's talking to somebody who looks a lot like the Gamora he liked or he loved, but it's just not her. And he's talking to a wall, and so it's really interesting, because you can totally understand both sides.
Yeah.
She's just not into you, dude.
Then after the Nathan Fillion thing, they lose their spacesuits in space. So Gamora and Peter kind of. If Peter tries to impress Gamora by talking to Ura as trying to hit on her to get like information or whatever.
Which honestly, he's not being an idiot in this scene.
What he did
which I thought was great, because it's like, you could easily just write, Quill's being dumb, Gamora's getting shit done, but Quill's actually being like, listen, we will reason with you. We don't want to hurt you. We are trying to be the good guys. We're trying to be the Guardians of the Galaxy. And I thought that was a great kind of step. And I guess kind of a subversion for what I would think would happen, because nowadays that just kind of seems to be the trend, where like guys are stupid, girls get it done. I'm so glad that's not how this movie really comes off.
Yeah.
So
Ura is also a cameo. So she played Ratcatcher 2 in the Suicide Squad. The girl, Ratcatcher.
I thought she looked familiar. Yeah.
That's her.
That's cool.
And then another one is Jennifer Holland, James Gunn's wife, played another character.
She's the one who gets shot in the leg, right?
She's the one that gets shot in the leg,
yeah. Because she's like, she's like, all right, honey, I want you to fucking ham it up.
Yeah. Apparently her name is Qual, Kwol, which stands for Kick-Ass Woman Overlord.
Nice.
Or something like that. I don't know.
She didn't really kick ass, though, did she?
No, she got shot. The elevator scene was also really funny, and how the MCU fucked up James Gunn's original plan.
Yeah,
and
well, it's kind of funny because you can sense his frustration, which is also kind of like probably the reason why he left to go to DC. And another reason was because obviously he got canceled, and then Marvel just totally not looking out for him.
Yep.
So I love it. I love he's just like. He tells the whole story. He's like, I fell in love with this girl. She fucking died off a magic mountain.
Magic cliff.
Magic cliff. Her dad threw her off a magic cliff. Half the universe.
Total dick.
Yeah. Which I wish they didn't include that in the trailer because that would have been a good one. Yeah. Also, another joke I loved was Nathan Fillion like talking about his like shitty coworker. Mm-hmm. He's just like, he's like, you're an idiot.
Oh my god! And we completely forgot about Mantis and Drax, where Mantis told the security guy, like, "Oh, you're in love."
Oh
with
yeah,
him.
you're in love. And then Drax is kind of like into it a little bit. He's like, "Oh, not again." Hi.
What's your name? Drax the Destroyer.
Oh, I like that name, Drax. Drax the Destroyer. Yeah. He's all like, uncomfortable.
Then there is the trailer scene where whoever it is sounds like her. What? No.
Yeah. Knock it off.
I never noticed how black your eyes were. They were replaced by my father.
Use it as a form of torture. So good.
Like, this is the comedy we need in this movie.
Although one thing this kind of comes up throughout the whole movie, it might be your cup of tea, but it's not really mine. I felt it was too jarring switching back from like the depressing lows of the flashbacks with Rocket, and then like we're going to like a slapstick comedy bit.
I think they did a good job of like kind of toning down at points, and then kind of having a segue. They segued pretty well, I think. Yes, there were some jarring ones, but like most of them segued pretty well.
I should say it's a good thing for Marvel. Like it's an upgrade for Marvel because like if this were any other movie and James Gunn weren't behind it, I guarantee they would do some shit like in the actual scene.
Yeah.
At least it's two different scenes. Like in Thor: Love and Thunder, like you'd have like, Jane being like, "Oh, my cancer hurts so much." And then Thor would be like some dumb shit like right after. I'm like, yo, like you can't joke about,
Yep.
So at the very least, it's two different scenes. I just thought it was like very jarring to see like the whole climax of Rocket's whole like, depressing, like, oh my God, he's going to kill all of them. And then we're going to go to Drax, punching a guy off a motorcycle 2 seconds later. It's a little jarring for me.
So now we go to a flashback where Rocket figures out why these test batches are failing. And I forget what exactly. It was something like proteins.
The protein and the gas that they're using is like getting too much in their bloodstream or something.
Violent Violent Ninja Turtles. That's kind of what it.
Yeah, like a bunch of science jargon. Basically.
But he figured that out, and then the High Evolutionary's like, huh. Interesting.
Yeah, well, I saw like something coming where like he's like, oh, my creation is outgrowing me. I need to kind of level it, and that's where you kind of get this. I don't feel like they hit it on the head though, because it's like, I really thought like the High Evolutionary is kind of like a man child, right? Like that's the whole thing. He's bitching and moaning the whole time. He's screaming like crying his head off.
He's just everything. Angry.
Yeah, he's just an angry dude and kind of not thinking straight. And then now it's not really about him his philosophy being wrong, which they could also have hammered home, where it's like, he wants to make a perfect society, and the whole thing about utopias is that it's never utopia, it's always a dystopia, So you could have done it, you could have done something there, or you could have done something with him being irrational and kind of looking out for his own self-interest. But I didn't really feel like they were going for either one of those.
No, it was totally new, taking like, references from throughout maybe human history of like certain like dictators, stuff like that, and how they would have acted, and kind of just meshing them into one person.
Yeah.
Which also could lead to him being a possible Kang variant. Just saying. Scene where they get their names as well, where Rocket goes back to the cage.
Oh, I thought that was heartbreaking.
Oh my God. So yeah.
And you could kind of see like because when High Evolutionary is kind of, because they're kind of buddies at first.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, what's that? That's a rocket. Yeah. So like you can kind of see gears turning, like, oh, that's where he's going to get his name. Blah, blah. Okay. So I'm on board,
Yeah. But like when he said like, I want to fly with my friends into the forever and beautiful sky. I'm just like, oh. And he ends up doing that anyway, but just maybe not with these friends. We'll get back to that. Yeah. So
that's just fuck, dude.
Yeah. So now there are some other little parts here that I'm going to skip over. Like Drax can't do his metaphors. I mean, if you want to talk about that, because you kind of laughed at that earlier.
That was a good scene.
Yeah. So like Mantis.
It's just another Drax. It's I like the we're going back with the Zarg nuts. He's just like,
yeah.
He's like, hey, Quill, you want a Zarg nut? Yeah, sure, thanks.
And Mantis just like,
what if I wanted the Zarg nut? There was none left. He just eats one.
You can't see me still, right?
Yeah, but my movement was so slow. I love this guy. Yeah. But okay, so that's another thing though. Like everybody has a little bit of an arc in this movie, and I thought it was such a great way to tie it. Like, so Drax, somebody who you would not expect to even, be in the same level as like a Quill or a Quill arc, they tie his story together. Because like a thing that I was kind of disappointed by is like they set him up, be like Thanos brutally killed his wife and daughter, and Ronan technically did it. Thanos ordered it. So, but Drax doesn't get to kill Ronan, really. It's kind of more Quill's thing with the dance party, with the dance
off, bro.
Yeah. Then obviously he can't kill Thanos because we have way more emotional attachment to all the other Avengers, so they need to take him out. So to see Drax kind of be like in this nebulous void for a while and kind of not know where he's going emotionally with his character arc, I'm glad they tied it together with all the kids. Like, oh, he was born to be a father. I thought it was a great little cap to a character that was kind of neglected and kind of just used as, comedy, comic relief.
Yeah, I teared up at that point. I was like, oh, he's meant to be a father.
Yeah. So
Counter-Earth. Now we're getting to Counter-Earth and the world of furries.
So this is where I think they should have hammered home, like, this is the High Evolutionary's goal. Like, he achieved his goal,
Or did he?
But that's the thing, because it's like he kind of knows it's not quite right.
It's not perfect.
So
society. We live in a society.
So, but like, is that like, I didn't really feel like that was the movie's like thesis. It's a thesis. Like you could do that, where it's like, there is no such thing as utopia. Everybody kind of needs to work out how to operate in this world.
I think James Gunn said something about like this movie is about the self, like yourself as a person, who you really are. That's what everybody learns in this movie. Like,
yeah.
Everybody learns who they truly are, like Nebula, Peter, Drax.
Right, yeah.
All of them.
Like their role in the world, in the universe. Like,
yeah.
No, that's a great thing. It just seems like you have this other kind of like semi-solid like foundation. Maybe that's just a testament to how good James Gunn is as a writer, because like you just have this kind of foundation here that you could go, that any other screenwriter would probably go into. It just feels a little weird to me that it's not like really brought to fruition. It's kind of like a halfway thing,
Yeah.
But then again, it probably would, because that in and of itself, it doesn't really mesh with like, the other themes that he's going for. So I don't know. It's kind of, maybe that is the best case scenario when you just have that there.
Yeah.
So I don't know, because like maybe you could have figured out like what is the High Evolutionary's role? Like does he figure it out, or like?
Well,
it sounds like he doesn't.
I mean, he's too stubborn to figure it out.
Yeah, well, obviously.
Yeah.
So,
so now.
Well, he thinks he's bigger than God. Or no.
Yeah, well,
he says
Statue of Liberty in Counter-Earth. So him with a monkey.
yeah.
So.
Which I thought was,
This is a world stuck in the 1980s. So. Because you look at the family portraits, you look at the style of the house and all that stuff. Very clearly stuck in the 80s.
Oh, so that wasn't just they were evolving like 20 years or like later.
No, I don't think so. I think
perpetually in the 1980s. Maybe. Okay.
I mean, at least when they landed there, it just kind of fit with the movie's tone, because 80s songs and all that stuff, 80s and 90s. So
kind of like how Rob Zombie's movies are always in the 70s.
Except for Halloween.
It should have but that's the best part of the first Halloween.
Yeah. Okay. We cannot get into this. We cannot get into that right now. Okay. Now. So we get this scene where they're all just like, these people are. Well, Drax hits the little girl in the face with the ball. That was hilarious. And
yeah, that was the first trailer.
Yeah.
Trailer thing.
Yeah. So they end up going in with these people and trying to figure out what they know about where the High Evolutionary is. Drax cannot slide down on the couch.
That whole scene was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like a whole family thing. It's like, Drax, sit up.
Yeah, I would love to see like how that scene's written like on the page, because I bet you it's just line after line, just James Gunn saying funny.
I wonder
shit,
if it was improv. I mean,
it might have been.
It
yeah,
would make sense.
I mean, well, later in the scene, it is improv where they figure out where the High Evolutionary is. There's like this big pyramid thing. Also, another side note, the little nitpick. You see the animals like Rocket and his friends. They can speak English. How come these new animals don't? I don't know. Like, I can't really think of a reason. Is it just like a made up language that they just kind of?
I mean, some of them have transmitters too that can like, understand all languages. Like they have all these things, but I don't. It's not necessarily inferred in this movie. So yeah, I mean that's something.
I mean, there might be a lapse in judgment.
It might be a lapse, but like it doesn't really take away from anything. So, but yeah,
it does give us comedy gold though. It's like jub jub or jub jub.
So. Yeah,
but yeah, then we get the fucking. I laughed the hardest. In this movie, where like I thought it was so great because it's so relatable. Because I also like when Nebula's trying to open a fucking car door from the 80s, and like I didn't like my dad had an old vet where like I didn't understand like a C3 where like you push down you push down on the thing and you have to clench it and and I was a little kid I couldn't really like get it that good, so I always had to have him open the door for me. But it was like so like like she didn't know how to push the button. It's like, you look like you're pushing the keyhole, and it's like, and now it's like, all right, I pushed it in. What do I do now? Open the fucking door. And I guess what, like Chris Pratt like improvised that,
improvised first,
and they just said, "Fuck it, let's keep it in."
It worked. It's comedy gold.
That's right so there. Good, dude.
Yeah. So. That was the first MCU F-bomb. Fantastic. It took them 30 some odd movies to get there, but here we are.
But I love it. It's so good.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised Samuel Jackson didn't say it.
Well, he almost did, and it disappears. I'm sure he will at some point. Maybe in Secret Invasion. Who knows?
I mean, it does seem more mature, so I bet you could be like, "What? I'm sick of these motherfucking squirrels in this motherfucking New York."
So they have to escape off of this. They get into the High Evolutionaries thing. And then we get the saddest scene in the movie.
Yep, where Rocket
finds he's like, we have to escape. So he's telling all of them, we gotta go. He had been taking little pieces each time the High Evolutionary took him to recreate one of these key cards that allows him to escape.
And also, is there any reason why Rocket is able to create because that's why he's like special for some reason?
That's how he can make all these things. Yeah, he's just very.
He just has the.
He's very intuitive, and
okay.
It's why he asked for all these parts, like why he asked for the arm in the first movie, or the leg in the first movie. Why he asked for that dude's arm? Like,
I thought that was just.
He likes to do these.
I thought he was just being a dick.
I mean, he probably was being a dick, but like he could probably do something with
I'll get that arm.
Yeah,
and he did. Eventually.
Exactly. So yeah, he gets himself out. He unlocks Lila and Teef's cage, then.
And I like that the High Evolutionary is not an idiot.
He's not an idiot.
I knew you would do something
Lila
like this.
and Rocket are hugging, he shoots her in the back. She's shielding Rocket. It's like, oh,
yep.
And my girl Linda dies, and I was really upset about that. I was like, God damn it!
Oh well. And it was really cool because I really bought into that
because he is screaming.
I didn't necessarily buy them as like a relation.
No, I don't think
romantic couple. It was very more, like friends to me,
like best friends.
Like it's just best friends. And then Teefs is there, and then I thought that was like heartbreaking. Just like as he's like
they're all just like in shock. Rocket's screaming,
they get caught in the crossfire, and then
the High Evolutionary's like, oh, boo-hoo. I was like, oh, my God.
Like, okay, now he's going to get it.
He's going to get it, and Rocket rips his fucking face off.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Because I was thinking, why did he look so different from,
why is his
the past?
Stretched like that? Yeah. That's the reason. He looks like Harvey Dent motherfucker underneath.
Yeah, he does. Oh, boy. I was surprised they showed, it was very gruesome.
That's what I'm saying. This is a hard PG-13 movie. They got away with some stuff here.
Yeah.
But yes.
So Rocket escapes, and then it's just a whole, and then but then again, like after that like emotional hard scene, like you fucking get Drax punching a guy off a motorcycle like for nothing.
Yeah, that
was just jarring.
Jarring, yeah. But it is for a good cause. Like he's going to rescue his friends. He never listens anyway. So
then we get kind of like a little bit of a little bit of an arc between a relationship between Nebula and Drax. Where Nebula and Mantis to a degree just kind of thinks he's a fucking idiot.
Well,
and
all right, yeah. Let's just say, okay, so this thing is lifting off here at this point, and basically, we got to talk about Peter and Groot first. They end up trying to find the Doctor who has all the information stored in his head to save Rocket.
Right, and is that okay? So did you look that up?
I did not look that up.
I'm pretty sure his name's Mateo.
It is.
He's like the guy who's having.
Yeah, Mateo.
Yeah. Such a random, and he's like actually kind of a big part of the movie, which is really weird to me. I don't know, but yeah. So the way that Quill, and I think this whole scene where Quill takes him out. Like the jump off the pyramid that's flying in midair.
Yeah.
And he fucking does like this really cool like skydiving thing. Groot grows some wings and shit. But he's really kind of like, he's really sure of himself. And it's like really cool to see him be like, because he's a fucking idiot, dumbass, overconfident in the first one. And then over time, it's kind of still part of his personality. But now it's kind of like, he's kind of the real deal now. Like, he's like, what? Or like, we're both gonna die, and he's like, no, only you. I'm like, whoa, that's kind of dark.
Falling with style.
Yeah.
Second Toy Story reference in this movie.
It was the first. Oh,
His Groot grabs him like that, like Buzz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. You really get to see like I don't know. So I really like Quill's kind of like mini arc in this, where like you start off where he's like, he's super. He's like the most depressed. He's fucking drunk as shit right in the beginning.
Yeah.
And now he's like he's that dude. He's that guy,
We also missed an important part where the High Evolutionary says, or Peter says like, "Oh, this isn't really the perk of society." And he's like, "Yeah, I've noticed. I must reset like I always do." I was like, he's just destroyed complete worlds before. Like, Thanos only destroys half of them. This dude destroys entire worlds.
Yeah, because they're imperfect in some way.
They're not the slightest bit perfect.
Yeah.
Oh God.
God forbid he had the Infinity Stones. That would be.
So let's see here.
That's comic Thanos too.
It is comic Thanos. So now they got the code. They're trying to save Rocket and all that stuff. He's in limbo at this point, and he sees Lila walking towards him and his friends in the background, and he's
Such
like,
a great
"Can
scene.
I come with you?" I'm just like, "Oh, don't be this where they kill him."
The way he said it was just kind of like.
Bradley Cooper did such a good voice.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
like God.
he says it like a little kid trying to be invited into go to the park with his friends or something. And I just love because it's like Rocket is like so innocent in that moment.
Second part I teared up at in this movie.
So good. And then and then you have the generic Lila's like, no, she's like you can't.
But was that him or was that a higher power saying that? Was that himself telling himself not to go yet? Or was that a higher power? Because they've been doing a lot of these like afterlife type scenarios in the MCU recently with Moon Knight and with
Thor: Love and Thunder had it.
Thunder had one like
Black Panther.
Mm-hmm. It was like interesting. Are they like? This still might be a theme going on, like gods and monsters and all that stuff? I don't know.
Maybe they could be going somewhere with that.
I feel like they're going to have to because like they keep bringing it up. Like, why do they keep bringing it up?
I didn't like that Quill was kind of like so like automatically ready to accept that she was dead. She's like, "Oh, Rocket, she's on the monitor. Oh, forget I was gonna go with that."
Yeah, because Rocket and Nebula became very close during the blip. So I mean,
yeah,
like they're the only two left of their people.
The whole thing, yeah. Which I love, like they're able to find such like unique kind of pairs, because like Drax and Mantis, great pair. Quill and Gamora, great pair.
And the thing that Lila says as well is like, this is your story all along too. So he was the secret protagonist.
We talked about this before. Mm-hmm. I don't see that really valid. It's like sure he had like a mini arc in the first two movies, and there was a small hint at like his backstory. So this is like it was foreshadowed. I wouldn't say he's the secret main character. You know what I mean?
I mean
he's like the third most important character in the trilogy.
Third. Who's second?
Gamora.
I don't think she's that important.
She's more important to the whole MCU than any of them.
I mean, for sure. But, like, not this version of Gamora.
Not this version. Yeah, because the version we cared about is fucking dead. You know, and I like that, you know, they kind of give her a little bit.
She had a really good scene with Peter that we skipped over too, like about being family and all that stuff. It's like, yeah, you found your family here with us and all that stuff, and she's about to like, punch him in the face.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing that Quill's just not getting through the whole movie. Is just like, that is not Gamora. That is not his Gamora. Like, she's totally different. She has no recollection, and you know, I would have liked, and I was going to bring this up later, but at the end. There's a whole sacrifice thing. He gets saved, not by Gamora, and I didn't like that. I thought it would have been because that's where they're leading the whole movie. They're like, you know, Gamora's like, she doesn't know what the fuck's, you know, she doesn't care about this relationship that they had, you know. But Quill is kind of endearing himself to her throughout the movie here and there, and like a couple scenes. There's that scene where like he rescues her and he's kind of like on top of her, and they kind of like have a smile and they share.
I don't think that would have made sense though if like she saved him. So we'll
I thought it would have been.
No, we'll get back to that.
Okay, we'll get that.
We'll get back to that. So now it's time to rescue Team Kids in a Cage. Again, just like Thor, Love and Thunder.
They did it way better this time.
They did it way better this time. I love how these two were filmed at the same time, too.
Yeah.
These kids are the next version of Counter-Earth. And they can apparently, like, go for 2 hours without water or something like that. They can go or they can run for 2 hours straight without sweating.
Oh, right. Yeah, like
they're one meal a day or something like that. It was something ridiculous.
They're more evolved. Okay. Well, that's another thing. In the end, I guess, is it a post credit or is it the mid credit or whatever? You see, like she has like powers. The fuck is that?
I don't know exactly, but like her name is Phyla, and we'll get to that a little bit later. So New Rock stresses the whole thing on that. I don't even want to go into it because I don't even remember half of it. Yeah. But so moving past that for a quick second,
they're just trying to rescue them, right? The thing's falling apart, and
in the pit with Nebula, Drax, and Mantis.
In the pit, I fell in it. What?
Okay,
we all fell into the pit.
The obelisks from the second movie. There's 3 of them now. Like they're the very beginning thing that eats the batteries on the Sovereign's home planet. Remember that? The opening scene.
Okay.
That's that thing. So there's 3 of them. Apparently they were created by the High Evolutionary as well, and they were just tortured animals.
This guy's like fucking Blofeld. He's like, I'm the author of all your pain.
He's literally the author
fucking everywhere.
Of all Rocket's pain. And I guess all these people. So like, yeah, they were just.
Like he was like this fucking dictator guy
in
the background.
They don't eat people; they eat batteries.
They just want to be loved.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is the part of the movie where it's kind of stupid for me a little bit, you know, because it's like, do we have to have these guys here? Do we have to have?
No, but did that look cool? Because it looked cool when they came in on fucking obelisks.
The only thing that kind of saves this whole like big fight action scene for me in the end is that hallway scene.
That's where we are.
When you see when Rocket is kind of in.
He's done running.
Yeah, he's done running. He's had his character arc. He's going through it, and he's badass. Like the whole thing, they all work together as a team. Yep. I thought it was just fucking. It's a
2-minute one take that looks so cool.
It's what I love so much about, especially the opening of Avengers: Age of Ultron. Everyone's working together with unique powers, and they're all doing their part. And it's just kind of you're seeing this all one shot, and it's just so cool and fluid. I love it.
James Gunn knows what people want.
Exactly. It was just so good. Like. And then,
meanwhile, Kraglin's piloting the fucking celestial head that there's nowhere to rescue the kids, like through the eye of this thing.
Yeah, I thought that was great too. And then Astro, one of the most. Oh, Cosmo. Why did I say Astro?
I don't know.
What am I thinking? Cosmo. She's she has telekinesis powers. And she's a small, unique, like minor character in this movie, but she is such a
she's a good dog.
She's a good dog. That's a little. I love that too. And so she's able to kind of hold both ships together, kind of create so
the kids can jump over.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
And not just the kids, all the animals.
Right.
As well.
I thought. Yeah, I like the whole fact. Like when they said like, oh, only go get the higher life forms, and Rocket says that. So I thought that, like, oh, that's weird. So then I should have seen this scene coming where, like, of course he's gonna go find the animal pens,
all the raccoons, and try and rescue them. He finds out he really is a raccoon, which he's not in the comics. But yeah, they made him an actual raccoon, which is.
I love that.
That was
because like, every movie is just I'm not a raccoon. You know, that's always a running joke. Like the trash panda, the ferret, the squirrel. You know, he's always something other than raccoon.
Then the High Evolutionary comes in, starts flinging them all over the place. Then he uses the gravity boots they teased in the early part of the movie, where he can get down from this gravity. And he's like, name's Rocket Raccoon.
So
good.
So good.
And then they all come in and start beating the living shit out of him. And Gamora gives the final blow and stabs him.
I love that it wasn't just Rocket there. It was still, again, it was a team. It was the family coming. They got so on point, man.
Yep.
And then, you know, they take off his mask and they're like, he got fucked up.
Yeah, he looks like Harvey Dent. And he's like, I'm a guardian of the galaxy. I'm not going to kill him.
Yep. So I'm a freaking guardian of the galaxy.
Yep. And then meanwhile, all these like things that the High Evolutionary summoned is attacking nowhere, and
so that
the nice cameo from Yondu, Michael Rooker.
Yeah. Okay. So was that old footage? That had to be old footage, right?
I don't think so. I mean, he was in the.
He got all dressed up.
Wasn't he in the holiday special as well?
No.
Oh, he was animated form. It was animated form. That's right. He is in the very beginning, I think. It was Quill and Yondu.
I only saw that once. Forever.
Yeah, it was the very beginning of it. Anyway, but yeah, no, it could have been old footage. But
I don't know.
I would
also,
be surprised.
But another thing, did he have like in the Guardians 1, or was it with the whole thing?
I don't think he had the whole thing. I think it was just
original. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Then Peter is left behind. He's like the last one to get off the ship, and
because he can't let go of can't
let the Zune go. Like
another great thing, because it's like that's his mom. That's his whole thing.
It's a Zune, but yeah.
but music is his connection to his mom, and he can't let that go because so that I love that even like the littlest things from the older movies, like it was still kind of in focus. So like he can't let that go, and then that. And in that moment, you can kind of see it, like, they're gonna go here, so that's why he's gonna finally, and they dropped a little bit of something with his grandfather in the beginning. He's like, I'm not gonna go see my grandpa; she's probably fucking dead.
Yeah, that's what I knew immediately. They're not.
They're gonna go.
They're not gonna kill him off. He's gonna be alive.
Yeah,
which he is.
And specifically,
thanks to Adam Warlock in recreating the creation of.
I thought that was fucking like if nobody, it works on so many levels, because it's like if you don't know that image, but you're like, because it's fucking Adam touching when he's like, it's perfect.
Oh god!
But again, though, I think it's so much more poetic if Gamora is there.
Okay, explain.
In the first one, the first moment they kind of realize like, there's something between these two.
Spark.
It's when Quill goes out to her when she's freezing her ass off in the space. He puts
the mask on her. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that's the thing, and then it's the same thing with Yondu does the same thing for Quill at the end.
I think they would have needed more development from Gamora in the movie if they were.
I think they did just barely enough. Just like it could have, like maybe not. Like they could have still ended where she ended, where she's like, my family's the Ravagers. This guy, I understand what he was talking about the whole time. He's got a charm. Like maybe like to help him heal a little bit, I'll be this thing for a split second for him. But she doesn't hug everybody at the end. So her kind of just being there is just kind of her just being there. I think it would have been poetic if she's like, she saves him, she acknowledges what he's been saying this whole time, because otherwise she's kind of in the void.
How
she's kind of like
rescued him in that instance?
I don't know, because there's something.
Well, this is the end of the team as we know it. So Mantis and her 3 obelisks. She's going off like Michonne here with her fucking dogs.
Yeah, whatever. She got
Drax, wanting to be a dad. Oh,
great.
Nebula running nowhere, and Pete returning home. And then, so
the thing is, though, I don't know how else you would do it. But Rocket's whole arc is that, like, he still has a family. And he learns that he becomes more, he understands who he is, But a lot of it is kind of dependent on that family of the Guardians, and they all just break up at the end after he goes back to life.
He still has a purpose, though, apparently. So there's more for Rocket still, I think.
Maybe.
So, I don't know. But you see, it's a little tease, I think, for what's to come of the new team, which is in the first post-credit scene. So we got Phyla, as I talked about earlier.
Wait, that's the official new team?
That Phyla, well, that's what James Gunn picked, yeah. Phyla, Cosmo, that thingy that we haven't even talked about. I forget what it is. Adam, Rocket, and Alpha Groot. Fucking Alpha Groot. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, bro. He's like
jacked beyond belief. He's like 10 feet taller than he already was. And he's just got a spider.
Which gets me thinking, was Groot just like not working out in the first one?
Well, that was his father. I mean, he's nothing like his father. Remember.
Wait, what?
No, that's his father. Like, it's baby Groot. Like, that is his son that came out of him dying in the first one. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's Groot.
I'm so confused. I thought it was the same character. I thought it was like a Phoenix kind of thing where he dies and comes back as...
No. That's his son.
So we've been talking with Groot 2 the whole time. Like, we've been hanging out with him. Mm-hmm. And OG Groot is fucking officially dead? Oh, fuck. That's depressing as shit.
Well, you didn't know that. Okay.
No, I thought it was the same character the whole time.
But yeah, no, that's his son. And then, obviously, his species feeds on this photon energy that comes from, I guess, maybe the Celestials he's been hanging out with, like Mantis and Peter Quill. So he can just become fucking bigger.
Oh, he's been feeding off.
He's been feeding off all this shit, yeah.
I get that. Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's at least what New Rockstars is kind of hypothesized, and it makes a lot of fucking sense. So I could see it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything negative though.
Yeah, Phyla. There's something that they go into detail on in their breakdown of the Guardians 3 movie, but I don't. It's something with like Marvel, the character, and like that being the daughter of Drax. I don't know. It was something really weird that I didn't pay attention to.
Wait, what?
I don't know, man. It's
Marvel,
in the comics.
who's now officially Annette Bening. Marvel. That's Annette Bening now. Is that her name? The fucking the computer program that's talking to Captain Marvel.
No, Marvel is a character in the comics. Like, these are what characters in the comics we're talking about. So, Phyla is like a character from the comics we don't know anything about.
Okay.
So, but she has powers, I guess. I don't know. It looked kind of like...
But that's dumb. That's dumb. Like the context of the movie, that's dumb. She's just an evolutionized fucking rat or whatever. That's all she is in this. Like, she doesn't need to have powers.
Well, maybe she's been hanging out with like the Kree. Looks like it's like those Kree type powers that they got going on. So
I just don't try to explain it. Just say it's dumb. It's because it's dumb.
Okay, it's dumb. Okay. All right. So, and then the final post credit scene, the legendary Star Lord will return.
Yeah. Well, so specifically only him. Which I thought was very interesting.
And Chris Pratt doesn't say he's returning at all either. Because like in the press tour they got going on, like he said he'll only return, like Chris Evans, he'll only return if it feels right. So
I respect that decision.
Yeah.
So, but it sounds like, I don't know. So James Gunn is officially out, right? Like he's not coming back
done,
ever.
Yeah. Pretty sure he's done.
Now, see, I feel like Guardians is James Gunn. I don't think you can really do it without him. You know, which is why like it kind of like gets me.
Taika was supposed to take over for him when James Gunn was before 3 was made. When James Gunn got fired the first time, Taika was supposed to take over.
No, I don't think Taika.
I would have hated that.
After Thor: Love and Thunder, I think Ragnarok was just lightning in a bottle. For whatever reason, it just worked really well. And now that I think about Ragnarok, not too much serious character development there.
Still great standalone.
Ragnarok's great. Love and Thunder.
We don't talk about it.
It was just a giant joke.
Yep.
You know?
It was.
And sure, it was fun to watch the one time. I'm not going to go back to it.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is about the Guardians movies, they're goofy and fun. And, you can rewatch them and still laugh your fucking ass off.
The trilogy stands on its own.
And it actually means something. Like after watching this one kind of culminate and put all these, tied everything together with a bow.
Yeah.
That is like, because we actually went somewhere. We went on a journey. That's what the whole thing's about. With Love and Thunder, what do we get? He gets a daughter.
Yeah.
So that's what. So like Taika, like he sounded promising in the beginning. Now, I really don't want him touching this franchise because it's so good. It ended so perfectly.
So now it's time for our State of the MCU. We have a few things to talk about here, like stuff going forward, stuff that's come in the last few movies. Let's start with Love and Thunder since we talked about that. Trash.
Which
I really enjoyed it when it first came out.
Here's the thing about, I was thinking back to that podcast that we did, and I rated it higher, way higher than I would now. And that's the thing. So that's why I'm very conflicted on what I want to give this movie itself. Because as we talked about it, there's a lot of things I liked. The core of the movie I think is really solid, but there's a lot of dumb shit in it. Like
the writing in the movie is very solid. Oh my God.
Yeah, and I think that's the most important part, because the writing is what, like, the little details, we're not really going to remember them later on. We can forget about them. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with the structure or like with what happens in this movie. But like, there's like a lot of dumb shit. Like, like why does it have to be like so tonally inconsistent? Why is like there's these themes that are brought up that aren't really explored, that, we can brush them aside. We can forget about them, but they're there. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
And then you got the dumb shit with the girl who's supposed to be a rat, and she has powers for some reason. It's like Marvel shit,
Yeah, that's like greater MCU stuff they're probably just planting seeds for. I think all James Gunn had a say in was the new team and what it was consisted of.
Right.
So,
and I feel like
he's done.
I feel like he picked the hardest characters to really write an ensemble with. I don't
Except
buy
for Rocket and Groot. I mean, they're
right, because he did all the legwork already.
Exactly.
So, and Kraglin a little bit.
And Adam. Adam's pretty good too. So, I mean,
he's got a good start.
Yeah. So now moving on to Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Real good. I like that movie a lot. It had visually stunning. Story was pretty good. It was kind of hard to work around, Chadwick's death and everything.
I commend them for what they did. They made a watchable movie out of a horrible circumstance.
Yep. Quantumania.
I really don't. There's nothing really to say about Quantumania. It's just another Marvel movie. It's just there. And that's the sad thing about Ant-Man. It just kind of seems like they're just there.
Yep. And now here we are. This movie stands completely on its own. Like, this has very little impact on the MCU as a whole, except maybe the new Guardians team.
Mm-hmm. But sometimes that's
all. It's what you need.
It doesn't have to affect the entire universe, And honestly, the smaller the stories just seem to be the better ones. Like, I care so much about this little raccoon, who never said he was a raccoon until now, which is, who would have thought that that character arc would have been compelling? But if we're talking about the MCU as a whole, because it's the state of the MCU, right now, I think, a lot of people would say this is, a good or excellent, state right now.
We have our rating system for this.
Yeah, we have
we have a 5-tier thing from poor to excellent. So poor being up in flames, fair, meh, good, solid movie, or solid standing, great, amazing, and excellent, unmatched. I think going into this movie, it was not looking good after Quantumania. So I wouldn't necessarily say up in flames. I would say it's meh at this point, going into this movie, Guardians 3.
Yeah.
But I think after this, and what we've seen from this, damn, they can still make really good movies. And I think we're going to be at the solid state. So it's in good standing, I think, the MCU right now. But they need to prove it, not just once. They got to prove it for the next movie as well, which is the Marvels. And
yeah,
I don't know how that's going to go. It looks fun, but so did Quantumania, and from the trailers.
Going from Quantumania, because this is like our second time doing this State of the MCU. So we didn't have the rating system last time. So at Quantumania, I would have said the MCU's in poor condition, because what came before that was Thor: Love and Thunder, Black Panther, which is all right, but like not good enough. And then we got Quantumania, which is just a nothing movie. So I'd say it's poor. This movie would bump it up to something that like great, or maybe even unmatched, because this is such a perfect capper. But I do know that James Gunn is leaving. I do know that these characters probably aren't coming back. It was the end of a trilogy. There's nothing else really happening in the MCU. So like, what else do I have to look forward to in the MCU other than maybe Secret Invasion?
So, and we're not talking about Secret Invasion. We're just talking about movies strictly right now.
So movies in general, like I think the Marvels is going to be mediocre at best.
Then after that, we've got Captain America: New World Order.
And if we're going based in the direction that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier set up, I don't want to see that movie.
And then Thunderbolts, which I'm excited for. But that's not till next summer. So, I mean, They got lots of shows in between there.
There's not much promising stuff there for me. So I think I'm out for now. I'm going to say the MCU is at a meh right now. You know, I mean, great job. This is a great entry in the MCU. You know, this is nothing against, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but like we said before, it doesn't really affect the MCU as a whole. So it wouldn't really bump up the quality of the future movies, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think right now the MCU is working towards its next big team up, which is going to be Thunderbolts. So
we'll see.
We'll see.
I'm not going to hold out hope. I'm not going to,
The only thing I'm holding out hope for right now, Secret Invasion. That's not a movie. It's not even a movie.
That looks genuinely good. Like we were saying before. Grounded,
sci-fi.
It looks like it has a way, like a direction it wants to go in, and it looks solid. It looks like it's gonna pull it off.
I mean, and Loki. I mean Loki too. But
I talked about this before, or when we were at lunch. But there's certain properties and trailers that I just kind of look at and just like, yeah, I'm really excited for it. But
is it gonna pull it off?
It just doesn't really look like it's gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like Obi-Wan was that trailer for me. I thought, because if you go back, we did a trailer reaction to it. I said, it looks all right. I'm hoping it's great, but I just kind of knew. I just knew it wasn't going to be, and then, but like something like the Hunger Games, the prequel movie, no, it has no right to be, it doesn't have to be good. We already had the quadrilogy. It was already past its time. Why are we doing this now? But it looks like a genuinely good movie to me right now. We'll see what it looks like, but I just have a feeling about that movie being good, other than maybe the main actor. He kind of looks a little cringy here and there. But like Secret Invasion looks like a solid concept and a solid movie or a solid show,
Do we think Star Wars is in worse standing than the MCU, or the MCU is in worse standing than Star Wars right now?
No, Star Wars is in way worse condition than the MCU. They're not in, neither one of them is in good standing for me. But I think Star Wars is definitely in poor condition.
Up in flames.
It's up in flames. I genuinely, like Ahsoka is going to be damage control.
Make or break.
Yeah, it's got to be, it's got to hit it out of the park, Dave. You got to do it, man. MCU, like at least I still kind of have I got this like,
you're hanging by a thread.
I'm hanging by a thread. I'm accepting that the MCU is not going to be the way it was. And I can't really do that with Star Wars because I know how great it was. And I know there's still magic there somewhere. I'm not exactly sure about the MCU, so I've accepted where it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, Star Wars is in way worse condition than the MCU right now.
Since Endgame, the best Marvel movies have been No Way Home and Guardians 3 right now. And I don't know which one's better because they both kind of stand alone by themselves. So that's the thing.
That seems like the direction we got to go in because Jonathan Majors has some shit going on.
That's going to be another tough decision because that news is going to be coming out soon. Probably right after we film this. We're filming this.
Yeah.
As of filming this, there's supposed to be something coming out tomorrow. So yeah. I don't know.
Again, I don't want to judge this guy immediately. I'm just saying Marvel is in a tight spot with this guy. He could have done what people are accusing him. He could not.
Well, we're going to leave it there for now. So, yeah.
It's not looking great for the MCU, though.
We're wrapping it up, Dan. E? Dan, E? What are you going to give this movie? So,
Guardians 3.
Guardians 3.
Very interesting. So, like I said, the core of the movie, very solid. I'm gonna buy this one. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna rewatch this one. I really like it. And I'm viewing this as like the swan song of the MCU. So saying that, I'm gonna give it an 88. I really like it, and I'm hoping that I'm not Phantom Menacing it.
And now while you're there, how do you rank the three movies?
The three movies? 3, 1, 2.
So 88 is the highest out of this trilogy.
Yeah. First one I think is like an 85, and the second one's like a 78.
All right. Well, this one to me, I think it mixed comedy and heartbreak so well, and I was so hyped for this movie, and they pulled it off. They pulled off what I thought was top 3 Marvel movies.
Top 3
Marvel movies.
Damn.
Well, obviously, you know my 1 and 2 are Infinity War and No Way Home. Nothing's beating those.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and look at my list. We did that ranking episode forever ago. So
this is my number 3 Marvel movie as of right now. I'm going to give this a 94.
90. Whoa.
94.
That is
92 for Guardians 2, which is my second place.
I still don't get that one, but okay.
And 87 for 1. So they're all very good movies.
Yeah, they're all very solid across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I mean,
they're all my top 10 Marvel movies, all 3 of them.
what more can you really ask for like a trilogy? Because it's hard enough making a trilogy that's watchable.
They're just so goofy and so full of heart, and they're just the whole trilogy is so good. So, leaving it there, we're Seen It Before. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok with the handle @SeenItBeforecast. That's SCENE It Beforecast, and on Twitter with the handle SIB_pod. I'm Dan.
I'm Danny. You can find me on Instagram at Danny_Was, my letterboxd at DJWas, and my YouTube channel, which is just Danny Was. What are we doing next week? Are we doing anything next week?
I am going to look right now on a calendar.
I don't know.
I didn't even plan that part. Yes, we do have something next week. Next week, we're going to not do a new movie, but we're doing one of, I think, our favorite movies, Uncut Gems.
Yes,
we're going to have Ron back on the podcast.
Ron.
Yes. I've had him on a few times this season.
Does he like Ron or Cameron? Like,
I think he prefers Cameron, but I just call him Ron because I see him every day at work. Anyway, but yeah, Uncut Gems, Serious Adam Sandler next week. We'll see you next time.